everyone, it's Rin and my camera's just died, so we're going to try to film this again. It's been a while, but I wanted to head back on here and do a bit of a story time video because I was going through my old journals recently from when I was studying abroad in Osaka, and I found an amusing story. It's amusing to me, I don't know how funny it's going to register on camera. About the time that I led a field trip of foreign students to a LIPHLICH live, which was super fun. So basically the background story of this is when I was living in the dorms in Osaka, I was constantly going to lives. Like sometimes I'd skip class to go to lives. I would always go out on the weekends to concerts, mostly because like I knew at that time that my time in Japan was very limited, so anytime that I had any kind of free time or spare money, I was at a concert, because I didn't know if I'd ever end up going back to Japan. Spoiler alert, I did. I ended up going to Gunma, but at that time, I didn't know if I was going to be able to ever go back to Japan, so I wanted to take the time while I was there to see as many bands as possible. And the weekend was coming up, this particular weekend, and I didn't have a band or concert lined up for any of the days that weekend, and I was getting a little anxious because I'm like, I have all this free time, I need to go see a band. So then I just went to the Loppy machine, and I saw the band LIPHLICH on there, and I'd heard the name but I'd never listened to their music, and so I decided to go see them. And this first time that I went to go see them, I showed up at the concert and I couldn't see the band at all because the girl that was standing directly in front of me had a big floppy hat on. And the thing that made me mad is I was in the venue before she was, and she walks in with this big floppy hat, and I don't know what her deal was. Like, she just has no awareness of anybody around her, but she, like, if I'm in front of the door, she walked in behind me and then looped around me and just stood right here with a big ass floppy hat on. So, like, I don't know if it was intentional or not, but it really made me mad because we spent the same amount of money on a concert ticket and I couldn't see the band at all. I don't know why, that just made my blood boil. It's just people that wear floppy hats to lives are just, I just think they're idiots. Because, like, who does that, you know? Anyway, so the first time I saw LIPHLICH, I couldn't see the band at all. And so I knew as soon as I left the venue after that concert that I wanted to see them again so I could experience the full show. Because the sound was amazing, and I knew that I liked their sound from when I went to the concert. But I wanted to get the full experience, and I wanted to see and be able to listen to them. Because I know that they do some kind of strange stuff on stage sometimes. And that's part of the fun of going to the concert, you know. It's listening to the music, but also seeing the performance. So at that time, I knew I was going to go see them again, and I saw that they had a concert in Kyoto, maybe like 2 weeks later, I think. So, at this time I was living in the dorm, and I had a very nice group of friends in the dorm, and so they would all kind of mingle in the common area by the kitchen, because we had to cook our own food in the dorm, so you would make your food and then bring it out to an eating area. And it was like a common study area too, with tables, so it was good for studying. And so they were always kind of there hanging out, playing video games and stuff like that. And I was the only person in my dorm that was really into Visual K. So I was the only person that, like, I would just be gone for hours at a time, and I'd come back, and my friends would still be sitting there in the same places as if nothing had happened. So eventually they told me that they wanted to experience a Visual K live because they were in Japan, and, you know, they wanted to have that experience just to see. It's not an experience that everybody has when they're in Japan. Like, everybody goes to Kyoto or Tokyo or Osaka and stuff like that, but I feel like Visual K lives are kind of a niche thing, and they never knew that it existed before I started going. So when I would disappear for hours at a time, dressed up in crazy clothes and stuff, they would always wonder, like, where did she go? So we had decided that they were going to come with me to a concert, and it was me and 3 other friends that wanted to go. So because I knew I was going to go see LIPHLICH again, I told them, okay, you guys go get tickets for this concert, and then I had to go with them and help them. So we got the tickets for them to see LIPHLICH in Kyoto, because I lived in a dorm in between Osaka City and Kyoto City, so it was like a hop, a skip, and a jump to Kyoto, so we could see the same band, same general music lineup, I guess. So the day comes, and this is like a motley crew of people. Like, you have me that's, okay, yeah, I'm into the scene. So, like, I'm dressed in a way that's like, okay, I'm going to a Visual K Live. But I'm just going to call all of my friends by color because I don't want to call them by their names just in case. So then we have Blue, and Blue had blue hair. And they seemed to like rock music and kind of electronica stuff, but they clearly had never listened to, like, visual music. And then there is Green. Green was actually a drummer, and he was an interesting person, but he had never really gone to a Visual K Live at that point. Now I think things have changed. I think he recently got more into it, so which is cool. I don't know if I had any, like, influence on that, but Green is also the guy that would go with me to the Visual K bar in Osaka that I would often go to. It's in Umeda. I don't remember the name of it, but if you're really interested in what it is, I can find it and let you know what the name is. But there's a really nice Visual K bar. It's really tiny. It's a closet in Umeda, and I would go there after lives with Green. And then Orange. Orange is my other friend who had never really been into rock music at all. But he was intrigued by probably, like, the idea of, like, the subculture thing. So it was me, Blue, Green, and Orange. So we all get on the train together. Actually, no. Me, Blue, and Orange get on the train together to Kyoto. And we're just, like, having a good old time. We can't sit next to each other because, like, a bunch of people are on the train, so we're kind of dispersed out. But we all know, okay, get off at Kyoto Station. I think it was Gion. Get off at Gion, and then you can go. And then Green was actually going to meet up with us later because he had some thing to do. I don't know. So he was going to meet us at the live. So me, Blue, and Orange all get to Kyoto, and we walk past, like, all the host clubs. Because, like, there's that one strip that's, like, maybe 2 or 3 host clubs, and all the hosts are, like, out there trying to, like, nampa you to get in. So, like, they're getting distracted by that. I'm like, no, we have more attractive men to go see at the concert. So we're walking around trying to find the concert house, and I think it was at, like, Kyoto Muse, which is right in Gion, so it's easy to get to. But it's kind of underground, so we had to look for it a little bit, and then we saw the sign for the band that was playing that night. So we go in, and I tried to give them the rundown of how you do at a live. So, you know, you go in, you give them your ticket, you have to pay money for the drink, and then you go in and you find yourself a spot. And if you're, like, a hardcore fan, then you really pay attention to numbers and you try to get a spot towards the front depending on, like, your status as a fan, blah, 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 blah. Don't stand where you see a towel, because if you stand where you see a hand towel, you're going to get yelled at by fans, blah, 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 all that spiel. So I walk in first to kind of show how it's done. When it's not that hard to figure out, but whatever. So I walk in first, I hand them my ticket, and then I walk up to the next person, I give her my drink ticket, and then I go up the stairs into the live house. And then Blue does the same thing. So they give over their ticket, and then they give over their drink ticket, and then they come upstairs with me. And we're waiting, and Orange has yet to appear at the top of the stairs. And we're both like, okay, where the heck is Orange? Where did he go? And then I kind of sneak my head around the corner, and he's, like, getting into, like, this weird non-argument, I guess, because he doesn't want to pay the drink ticket. He's like, well, no, I'm not going to have a drink, so no thank you, I don't want the drink. And I have to, like, run down there, and I have to explain to Orange that I'm like, okay, I know it's weird, it's money that goes to the club. You have to buy a drink ticket, and then you exchange that for a drink later. It's obligatory. You have to do it. You can't get out of the drink ticket. It's like door money, you know. You have to pay it. And so, like, we have that little chat there, and the woman, like, in front of us doesn't speak any English, so she's wondering what the heck is going on. And I'm trying to explain to him, like, no, you need to pay for the drink ticket. It goes to the club, blah, 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 blah. All that. I already said that. So, eventually, we finally get through the door. And, Orange has paid for his ticket, and we're walking into the venue now. Tiny, tiny venue. And we get in, and the band, after a little bit of waiting, the band finally goes on. And I'm having a good time. I can finally see the band for once. And then like 20 minutes in, I'm like, Green has not met up with us yet. And he said that he would be there by the time the live started. So I was getting a little bit worried. I was like, oh dear, where is Green? The attendance sheet, everybody is accounted for except for Green. And I was afraid that maybe he had gotten lost, he couldn't find the live house. Eventually I pulled out my phone. Like I went back and I had to pull out my phone. I'm like, where is he? And I'm just like hoping that nobody thinks that I'm like taking pictures or trying to record the live or anything, but really I'm just checking up on my friend who has magically disappeared. I know that he's somewhere in between Osaka and Kyoto. That's a huge amount of space. I don't know where that is that he was at. And but during the time, actually, I was very happy to see that Blue really got into the live, and they were actually doing the furitsuke, or trying to copy the furitsuke of the other people, which is really fun to see. Orange next to me was also very much getting into it. He had a big crush on Wataru, so he was really liking what Wataru was doing up on the stage. And also Kuga, he was really liking what the vocalist was doing too. So he was more like getting into the performance of it. I'm not sure if he really liked the music, but he enjoyed seeing the performance. Blue was having a great time. And I don't know, that's just one of the most satisfying things to me, to see my friends enjoying the things that I enjoy. So I'm happy that I was kind of able to share that with them. And then eventually Green showed up, and he came in and he stood right behind me and actually freaked me out because he was so close, and I just turned around and he's there. So he really liked it. He started getting into the music too. And then the encore came on. The band left and then the encore came back on. And Green was getting a little mad because at Visual Lives a lot of times you have to wait a while for an encore because maybe they're doing an outfit change or they're trying to settle the set for the encore. And if you're Byo from Screw at the time, every time an encore came on, he was wearing less and less clothing, and it was very, it was like, please stop calling for encores. Byo is going to be naked on the next one. Stop it. But yeah, so they really enjoyed the live overall. The encore finished when they came out, and then we all got our drinks since we all paid for them, which was a rare case. I never get a drink at a concert, or at a live. But my friends were like, you paid for it, get it. So then we like shared alcoholic beverages after the live, and then we got kicked out. But I don't know why. I don't know if this was a really humorous story. I just felt like telling it because if you live in Japan, you start to see, like, if you see like a flock of gaijin, like there's always one elder gaijin leading a flock of novice gaijin. So what I would see this a lot is in like Kaldi on a Friday or Saturday night, when like the elder gaijin is leading a flock of novice gaijin in a quest for refried beans, or in a quest for cheese, or in a quest for some foreign food that they can't get at a normal grocery store in Japan. And in that moment, I realized that I was the elder gaijin leading my flock of novice gaijin at a Visual K live. And it's a memory that I'm going to hold dear. Every time after I went to like a concert, they didn't join me. I think that they had like their one thing where it was like, okay, it's cool, but maybe not for me. But it was really fun to kind of share that experience with my friends. And to this day, my friends will still text me and ask me how LIPHLICH is doing, the band, because they know that I'm like, I got really into them now. But yeah, like Orange will still text me things, like if he sees a picture from the band because he follows them on Twitter, and Orange will be like, did you see that update from Kuga? And I was like, maybe, I don't know. I don't go on Twitter that much. But yeah, so it's fun because we have something that we can share. So I'm happy that I was able to share my passion with my friends, and they seem to enjoy it. Only the one band. And actually Green, I think, seemed to go on, and now he seems to be a little bit more into Visual K these days, and he's like posting about different bands and things. So I think that he was into VK a little bit beforehand, but I like to think that maybe I was able to help plant the seed to you know, encourage him to expand his knowledge of Visual K. I don't know. I think that live was actually his first VK live, so I like to think that I like popped his cherry about that. But anyway, so yeah, it's kind of like a non-story, but I felt like sharing it the time that I was the Elder Gaijin leading my flock of novice Gaijin to a LIPHLICH life. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoyed somewhat with me trying to like herd all of my friends at a Visual K life. And until next time, bye bye.